Okay, I'm not gonna do a funny "Hello, Jill," but I'm gonna say,
No.
"Hello, Jill. How are
Yeah.
you?"
Oh, I'm just fine.
Just
Listen,
dandy.
y'all are getting this is hot off the presses right here. This is
This
like,
is this is like you just put the bread in the fondue pot, or we just put the bread in the fondue pot. The cheese is still swirly. So yeah,
yeah,
look at that. Look at
look at
that.
that little tiny votive. He's asking a lot of that votive, like that tea light. Man,
Yeah,
it's got to melt a shitload of cheese.
yeah.
We're
Nothing that
yeah, it's
screams
like
70s like fondue, mustache, easy
Gene
living,
Hackman, like wallpaper, Gene Hackman, post-coital fondue. It's
voice
like
fondue. Yes.
it's like everything about the, and then she's got like this lady mullet going on, her
She
titties
did.
are hanging out. There's
Yeah.
just, it's a lot going on. I think that's
Before
a fur throw back there, maybe. There's
Yeah,
some
and I
fur.
think there's a nod to, something else that might not be seen. Um,
Just a little
yeah,
bit,
it's
little
a
minge, as the
and
Brits call it, a little
and
minge.
I have a bro, well, kind of a broy. They're not really bros in this shot, but I think this
No.
is a great shot of oh man, I forget the actor's name, 'cause he's been in so many great things. The guy on the left, it'll come to me
Um,
because I'm actually going to look it up. But he's so great. But he's kind of the adversary. It's not really a spoiler. There's a lot you could spoil from this movie, and that's not it. It
no.
is Harris Yulin.
Yeah. That's right.
He, yeah,
So,
big
so
time supporting actor.
now I just want to clear the air, since
Yes,
since this is an impromptu. This is, again, this is like breaking news.
hot
We're
fondue.
right on
Yeah,
it. You know, um, if any of you are noticing that I'm a little flushed looking, I had a chemical peel 2 days ago. And so, what basically, I have intentionally burned my skin to take off a couple dermal layers to deal with some sun damage. And right now, my skin is as red as a baboon's ass, and it's tight as a puckered asshole, maybe tight as a
uh,
puckered baboon's asshole. Um,
I think
and
you're really just
so
trying to match up with your background image because
I
I,
really,
I mean,
yeah,
you, I mean, you're not
I
as
am
red
the,
as the fondue pot,
but I'm
but
getting there.
But
But
you
I'm
could
getting
have
there.
your face could have just been in there. That would have been a better explanation. You didn't have to
I
tell them all
mean,
that. You could have
it
just
with
said
the
"S-
fondue. Well, it's
scalding fondue.
this whole scene is quite steamy,
It's very
and it
steamy.
is
Yeah.
creating a little hot and bothered over here. But anyway, so just no one be concerned. This is just routine. Look, when
Yes.
you have a beautiful visage, as I do, one has to, there's a lot of money that goes into this look right here. Okay. So y'all are getting a little behind the scenes glimpse at how I put this beautiful
This ain't
um
no supercuts, great clips.
no, this is
and
not sports cuts. This is sports clips or whatever, or
yeah,
like fucking master. What is
and
that
like,
other place?
and like
Master cut.
$5
Yeah,
Amazon
this
cream,
is. It costs
skin
money to
cream.
look this good.
Yeah.
Okay, just
And
letting y'all know.
that's why we charge the membership fees. We're just
Right.
funding Jill's face. We need to
Hmm.
do a GoFundMe.
I
Make
know.
Jill's face red again.
I know.
um,
So yeah, that's so. Anyways,
but it really does
Aaron.
fit. It does fit. I mean,
Yeah,
and
I think
actually,
it does.
I'm not making any innuendos or anything, but your hair color kind of matches the lighting of the
But
set.
you know how
So
they say that, like, the curtain matches the drapes? The
that is
whole
not what I said. Just want to
the
put
carpet
that
matches
out
the
there.
drapes. But this is
But
the
there is
whole
carpet.
thing.
Yeah, are
There
those
is
drapes?
carpet behind us.
I don't know
This
what
is
those
devolving into,
we just started, and yeah. Um,
you know,
this
that's
is what happens when we have no prep. So okay, yeah,
zero prep.
let's tee it
But
up. We're
yeah,
recording.
we need to
So
steer it back.
We've already actually this week we've already recorded Criterion now. I forget the episode number. Was it 154? So I guess this
Sure.
will be
That sounds
155.
good.
Yeah. And
Sure,
we're
that
just gonna
sounds great.
throw it up on YouTube. So we're jumping ahead. We're skipping the
Yeah.
line. We had a great episode with and we were a
Yes.
little behind just because of a bunch of stuff, but we had a great episode, kind of caught up with a couple months worth of titles, had a couple digressions, like not
Yeah.
like this one, but
No,
others.
this was an epic digression.
I think it's Hall of Fame digression. The fondue pot, but we had Tiffany Vasquez. So some people might know her from TCM a few years back, and she worked at Giphy. Really great stuff about gifts. I think that's just
Mhm.
fascinating. Speaking of which, we talked about a Gene Hackman gift that she made. So
Yes.
that'll be dropping. Maybe I might put the video out next week, and we'll have the audio. We have a lot of stuff going on at Cine Journeys too. I
Yep.
mean,
And
we
she
posted.
reveals in that
Yes.
episode what she's going to be doing for Cine Journeys next year, and we won't say until you listen to that episode. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a little sneak peek for y'all.
And we just put up Imogen Sarah Smith's class. I think we even talked about that there, so you get a twofer. Just put up the film list today, and it wasn't because we were like teasing it or anything. I just forgot to put it up, and I
I mean,
wasn't sure if I should put it up. And then
I
everybody's like, "Oh, I
mean,
want to see it. It's good."
what I said to you yesterday was like, why relinquish the great power that we have
Yeah,
when we're holding this over people, literally toying with their lives as
and
as we withhold this syllabus. Let's share it.
yeah, let's just jump into that first, and then we're the Criterion announcements. It's the 13th. They dropped early,
They dropped
so
early, Friday the
we
13th, baby.
we had Friday the 13th. Way to go, Criterion! I'm not a
Ooh.
very Friday the 13th kind of haul, but we'll
No.
talk about that. So here is Imogen's thing. So we'll start with this. So yeah, the red shoes is the cover image.
Hey, her
Look,
hair is about as red as my face.
yeah, I'm not making a comment. I'm not returning to a comment. That's the great actress Maura Shearer.
Yes.
She's been in a number of things, actually in Peeping Tom as well. Which hold that thought. So this is I know where I'm going. There is a restoration. Now we've been kind of hoping that that'll be announced.
We'll see.
We don't. Yeah, we'll see. We're fingers crossed. I don't think it'll be announced. I mean, we only have like 2 months, April,
Yeah.
May. So I don't know if it'll be announced in time for Imogen's class, but it's worth finding. Maybe you wait, get it at your library, or
Yeah.
it's probably available to stream. So
It
here's
might,
the,
yeah, it might be. Yeah.
and most of these are on the Criterion channel, so this is actually perfect. And Imogen is on. We haven't looked at the features yet, but she's probably on one of these discs. That's just the way it goes. But she did a great job at dividing these up. So
Mhm.
I like this islands. wouldn't have thought of that, but I've
Right.
seen both these movies, The Edge of the World, and I know where I'm going, and there are islands. And then the recommended, I guess, kind of optional, and
Mhm.
extra kudos, extra credit. I put kudos, but it's kind of credit. But the thing is, you're not going to get a grade, so you're just going to look cool. So the Phantom
Yeah.
Light and Ill Met by Moonlight. So two, not not as not as famous films, which I think is
Well,
great.
and one thing I do want to interject, and it says here in the piece, but I'll throw this out there, and with the caveat of what I'm about to say is, whatever you do, we are not responsible for this. But let me just
Right,
say
right,
that
yeah.
there are a lot of these movies that are hard to track down.
Hmm.
They are out there. And that they have been circulating with collectors. You might find them on various video streaming, like YouTube or Internet
Hmm.
Archive. Sometimes when they're on Internet Archive, they'll have a slightly different title, so you have to search keywords. But that is kind of a do at your own risk. But if anyone who has any interest in classic Hollywood knows that this is the life of
Hmm.
a
Yeah,
cinephile, that a lot of times we're kind of reduced to watching, a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a
yeah.
VHS taken off of, like, midnight television. So just keep that
Yeah,
in mind.
and that's where, yeah, we can't vouch for anything.
No,
For example, I did search one of these and I found it on YouTube. Probably not the best print, but it's
right,
better than nothing. And I
right.
can't, I have no idea what the person who uploaded it,
But
whether
we
they
can't
had the
link to
rights.
those things. So
Yeah,
that's something that,
exactly.
y'all can seek out on your own.
Mhm. Yeah,
But,
we don't know
we'll
if it's legal, or
right,
if there's been a takedown. Probably not. So
right.
war. So we have Islands and War. Really, a lot of their most of their movies are around. In fact, the next one is as well. 49th Peril. I think that's going to be interesting because I think of this as kind of a jingoistic film of theirs. Actually, this is not
Mhm.
one of my favorites. So I'm curious.
Yeah,
The Small Back Room. I did see that a long time ago, but I
yeah.
don't really remember it that well.
I
And then
don't
one of
remember
our
that one either, but 49th Parallel is an interesting. I don't necessarily think it's a great film,
right.
but it was, I think, born out of necessity because they desperately needed, like, the US to join the fight, and,
Hmm.
but it is
Yeah.
a bit it's their propaganda piece for
It
sure.
really is, yeah, it's the if there is it's the closest to it. I think a lot of people would argue that it
Yeah,
is. Then, she coulda used war for this one, but it's
absolutely.
really more, place and time. I mean, I think
Right,
The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp is about just the attitude that I the attitude and the tradition of war, and, the joke is the war begins at midnight, the formality and how war was changing, but I do like that, it's not a
right.
strictly war film, it's place and time, there's a lot of character stuff, in fact, here's,
Well, and
Livesley and Walbrook.
it's about, aging and adapting
Yes,
to the changes, and war is used as the vehicle for that,
exactly, yeah,
but it really is about, relevancy, growing old, and, um,
mhm.
you know, all of that. So I'm really excited about that pairing in particular.
Yeah, I really love A Canterbury Tale. I don't know how
Yeah,
well known it is outside of, like, the diehards,
right.
but so I won't say a lot about it, I'll just say it's about an expat, so,
Yeah.
in a foreign land, so do not make the mistake of watching Pasolini's Canterbury Tales, it has nothing to do with that. You will be I mean, join the Pasolini journey, we'll get to it, and we'll put it in proper context for
Is
Kent,
that a is
Christina.
that an a is that a Chaucer? Is the Pasolini Chaucer, or is it just
It's
coincidence?
Chaucer and Satan, yeah. Chaucer mixed with Satan. There is a yeah, it's a Satan saucer, Satan Chaucer saucer.
Wait,
There
does he do a riff on the Miller's Tale?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah,
So
I
there's oh, okay.
yeah, so definitely, there's no Miller's Tale in the
No,
place and
not in
time
this
that
one.
Imogen's.
No.
I will say that this is towards the end of the film, and some people might call it a spoiler, but you really can't spoil this film because it's a bunch of stories. But there is a scene where people come out of Satan's butt. That's what I'll say.
Well, if it has anything to do with the Miller's Tale, she pulls she lifts her dress up when he's wooing her, and he climbs up to kiss her,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he says, I didn't realize she had a beard, and it's because he's
yeah,
kissed. Yeah.
yeah. That goes
I
along with
read that
something
in
else we
high
mentioned.
school. I read
Wow.
that in high school,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not something. So that the Satan scene is not that scene. I think that was in there. I can't remember.
Mm,
So anyway, also Gone to Earth.
hilarious.
Haven't seen that. There are a
I
couple here
have
I
not.
haven't seen. So I haven't
Yeah.
seen Contraband either. So I'm looking forward. That's one. Maybe we could find it on YouTube. I'm not sure. Heaven and Earth. I love this pairing. Matter of
Yes,
Life
it's
and
great.
Death. Black Narcissus. Yes, indeed. Heaven and Earth. Very complicated and blurred lines, and I'm really excited for however Imogen chooses to
Yeah.
tee this up. Uh, yeah, her approach. Now, one thing to keep in mind now that we're 5 months away from this class
Mhm.
is that A Matter of Life and Death is not on streaming anywhere anymore.
Right.
We don't know why. I suspect maybe it's a Studio Canal situation. Rights are murky, but
Mhm.
and I think the disc last I checked. We'll go to Criterion and check it here in a
I think
second.
it's still available.
I think it was on back order last I saw. So if
Ooh.
you can find it somewhere, it's worth getting anyway. It's a great movie, and
Right.
it's one of those universal. I think same with Black Narcissus. Like both of these are really hard not to like. Um, and lastly, Obsession. This is actually the one that made me the happiest because
Mhm.
she could have just done ballet, and paired these two, which Maura Shearer, as you saw at the heading, terrific in both movies. But I think ballet would have just been a lazy topic because the Red Shoes is about a lot more than ballet. And same with Tales of Hoffman. But this, Peeping Tom,
Mhm.
this is about obsession. And boy,
Yeah.
we've covered it, but I don't think we can overcover it. And I,
No, I think she's gonna draw some parallels between these 2 films that, a lot of people may not even think about.
Mhm.
Um, any, I think she's gonna really offer up some interesting perspectives on all of these films, but
Yeah.
this last one especially, I think is gonna be really, really cool.
Yeah,
So
it's a good one to
I'm
end with,
Aaron and
especially with
I, we
Pal,
both
and
were like, "Oh my god, this is incredible." We saw this and we were like, "We are gonna learn so much about this." So
yeah,
so we have what our registration is gonna go up this coming week?
yeah, so, there's already a drawing, going on right
Yes,
now for 2 seats, and we'll draw that on Sunday. So,
right.
the 2 winners, and these are all M Magic Hour members, so,
Mhm.
and they have to opt in, they have to fill out a little form to, say they're interested because we wanna make sure people can actually go and attend, and the
Right,
times they're not on vacation for 3 weeks. But and we did get great response. So
right,
it probably will be a little more crowded this class, but that's fine. She's doing 90-minute sessions, and I think 45 minutes, up to 90 minutes, but 45 minutes of lecture, which is going to be fire. If you've seen her essays, and if you just know her preparation, I mean that's why she's such a great fit for what we're doing. So that is going to be, these are all 5 going to be amazing lectures, and then she's going to have 45 minutes, about for questions, discussion.
right,
So, that's assuming there are 45 minutes. I have a feeling with our group there will be, but we'll see. It's going to be fun. So then we'll post registration for our members on Monday. They get
yep,
priority registration, and then we will post public registration on Tuesday. Now, our members also get a 25% discount, and there's Imogen's going to do more. So, just saying that, go to our plans. Just saying that if you get this and you want to take 2 imaging classes, you've paid for it because it's $50 off. So, and you
right.
also get the member shirt, which is fire. We're going to share that soon
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and also, I do wanna point out that if Magic Hour really is, like, the best bang for your buck,
Yeah.
but, for Imogen's class, she has been really generous to offer a 10% discount for Deep Focus
Yeah.
members,
And you can even
which
do the
is
monthly. Yeah.
right, you can even do monthly, and that counts.
Hmm.
You would just have to have an active membership, in order to get that. So,
Yeah. If you cancel it, we
we
are going to shake our fist.
right, we will shake our fists at you.
Yes.
But, we are really, that's one thing that our, guides, they don't have to offer that.
And actually,
Um, we suggest it,
there's Tiffany.
but it's really up to them on what they wanna do, and
Hmm.
she, without question, offered that plus the 2 free seats. The same thing with Derek.
Yeah. Derek's
Derek's
here.
offering 25% to Magic Hour and, 2
Hmm.
free seats, which have been,
Yeah.
selected.
And I would
Um,
watch this trailer. I would
it's
play it. I mean,
amazing.
it would be okay to play it, but this isn't the show.
Yeah,
But speaking of Criterion, many of these are on the Criterion channel or disc.
right.
So
And also,
this one's going to be really good.
one thing I wanna just about Tiffany's journey, which again hasn't
Hmm.
been announced yet, she too is offering 25% off to, Magic Hour subscribers.
Hmm.
So,
And there's
um
more. Well, there's more coming. There's a couple more coming, and then we're
yes.
going to slow our roll a little bit
Yep.
because we have another big thing. And this is a massive, massive thing that will
Yes.
be announced actually next Thursday. It's going to be public. I'll just share. It's a book. It's a book
Yeah.
that technically both of us. I guess I'm writing it. Jill is
Aaron
editing.
is writing it. He's being very generous. I am going to do my best to get this sucker edited, and but we're going to reveal what that is next week. So that's going to
Yeah.
be super exciting.
I've been writing basically. I was like, Jill, I want to write tonight. I'm because I really found I need that
I'm
quiet
pretty
time.
sure
I exactly said that was the
Aaron
tone of
has
voice.
is like snorting a lot of cocaine,
I do. I,
which
I
again,
manage my time very well.
I'm
I'll
just
say that.
saying it fits
Yeah.
with the vibe of what we've got going on behind us. Which, speaking of, we should
Yeah.
get to these announcements.
Let's get right to them. So yeah. So these just dropped, and we'll get to the first one. So Night Moves by Gene Hackman, or
Hell
not by
yeah,
Gene Hackman, with Gene Hackman by Arthur Penn, who
Arthur
I think
Penn.
is so underrated. Again, that's underrated, overrated. I don't like to use those words, but Arthur Penn, I think, you know, people know a couple of his big films, but I think people
Yeah,
sleep on some of his, like this one. So I'm,
this is pure 1970s sweat-soaked polyester goodness. Like,
yes.
this is just like there's a handful of movies from the 70s that I just that don't, because you have like, Godfather and French Connection and
Hmm.
Exorcist and all these other films that kind of or what people think of from the 70s. But then you have these like, I mean, they were just pumping out stone cold classics constantly. This, Scarecrow,
Yeah.
just
Look at that
amazing. This
cover.
is, God, I'm so freaking excited about this.
That cover is it's not a spoiler, but
Eh,
it's a bit of a spoiler. I mean, you would never know. Without the context of the film, it's just an image,
right.
but it's a great. I mean, the fact that they went there to
Yeah.
that image, so clearly Hackman is discovering something in the water. So yeah, what could that be? Um, well, we got a shout out because he's been on the show before. I'm really happy about this. So Matthew Asprey Gear, good friend,
Yep.
author of Mosby Confidential, which is a book about night moves. Um, I've read it. It's a great book. Highly recommend you go check it out. You could probably even get like the Kindle version right now. I read it on an airplane, on a return airplane flight. It was very breezy, very great to watch. Maybe a good companion with the movie and
Hmm.
also the commentary. Uh, Matthew has just started doing commentaries in like the last 2 3 years. He did a couple for imprint, a few for imprint,
Hmm.
and just recently he did one for the Keep on Vinegar Syndrome, which sold out like 14,000 copies in about, actually more than that, because there's 14,000 of the limited edition and a few thousand of the standard. So probably like 20,000 in about 39
Wow.
hours or so when it was
Wow.
posted on Black Friday. New interview with actor Jennifer Warren, and I'll share that Matthew had her on one of his classes a few years back.
Cool.
So she's awesome. So I got to interact with her a little bit and about this film. So she is actually, well, she's a character. She enters in maybe about a third of the way through the film,
Mhm.
but really a tremendous character, and yeah, it really is great. It was great to hear her speak about that. This audio interview is going to be fantastic. Um, then episode, so more Arthur Penn. Yeah, so one from the documentary. I haven't seen this documentary about him, but
I
I'd
haven't
like to.
either.
And
Oh,
then behind the scenes, and there is a. Is it a Warner Archive or is it no? It's Twilight Time, isn't it?
it was Warner Archive that
Was
came
okay.
out with this, and I have it, and it's a fine release. I mean, we were pumped when it came out, but this is
Mhm.
really cool to get it to, because the Warner Archives don't usually have a ton of special features, if any.
Yeah.
So this is really nice. And look at that essay by Mark Harris. That's going
I
to be
was just yeah.
fantastic.
So if you haven't seen that on Blue Sky, I put out an essayist Criterion list, and Mark was on there. Mark is amazing. In fact, I'll say that Mark has been an influence on me writing the book that I'm writing. A major influence, a direct influence. Now, I didn't copy any, and his topics are not. There's not much overlap with mine,
Right.
but if my book is in the conversation with Mark's books, that'll be heaven for me. That'll be more than I expect. So mark as one of the best. So, well, I guess there are other movies.
But that was the one that got us like super, super excited.
It was, yeah. So, and that is March 25th. So we jumped ahead. So I don't know that we. Well, I'll go ahead and go to these images. First off, I
Sure.
love this drawing. I want to see. And we're really flying blind. Juan Esteban Rodriguez he's the same person that did No Country for Old Men, isn't he?
Fairly certain.
It
Yeah.
kind of looks like that similar vibe. With the small thumbnail, it looks like
Yeah.
just that scene. This is a very famous scene from the movie. We covered this in Classic Suspense, and
Mhm.
needless to say, it was fire. In fact, I think that's some fire right there. I don't think that was in the scene. This movie, though, what do you think? What do you think of this cover?
Well, I think the cover's fantastic. So I have the Blu-ray, and it has Yves Montand and
Yeah,
uh, what's his face? I can't think of his name. Um,
what is it?
on the
This?
cover, it's
Oh, the cover, right?
no, the actor. It's where they're
Yeah,
in the truck and they're kind of that's the Blu-ray cover.
yeah.
Um, I
Actually,
think this
probably if I
is
go to this, it'll.
which is a great cover.
Mhm.
Wow, they're not. I wonder if the Blu-ray's gonna get.
Well, so it's
Are they
4K
showing?
Blu-ray and Blu-ray, so I would expect this is probably just the same old Blu-ray. I mean, why
Yeah.
would they usually don't
Anyways,
upgrade
I
those, but
I haven't been doing a lot of double dipping. I've
mhm.
been kind of like picking and choosing on that. Um, but I might on this one. This is actually March, so flash sale will probably be
Yeah,
around this time. So I might pick this one up, depending. Um, get that combo.
and I'm just gonna look at the B so I have this BFI and I
Yeah,
watched this for our
there's the old cover right there in
well, this is this is similar. It's these two
the
people.
BFI, but no, I think if you scroll down, or I just saw it on the search.
Okay, yeah, probably the old Criterion, but the
Yeah, that's what I was talking
BFI.
about. Yeah,
Yeah, so the BFI, so Adrian Martin,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Adrian. So he's also a friend.
yeah.
Great, a great commentary, and actually, this commentary, I've watched it. It's a fantastic commentary. So this is where, with the 4K upgrades, if you don't have the Criterion, or the Blu-ray, then and you want to double dip, then or you don't want to double dip, you can get that one. Personally, I did get this one, and
Mhm.
again, just for the commentary, it was great. I know we're a Criterion podcast, but sometimes with the Blu-ray upgrade or
I
the yeah
mean,
yeah, I just want more stuff. So I'll go back to Criterion, but uh, actually I'll go to I can't spell Criterion. I still can't. That is how I type everybody. So yeah, this is and that's a good cover. It's a still shot
yeah, there we
from
go. There we go.
yeah.
Yeah,
I do forget the actor, but he's a really good actor too.
I
Was it
cannot.
Vanel? Was it
It's
Charles
Vanel.
Vanel?
It's
Okay,
Charlotte Vanel. Yeah, that's right.
okay, that's one from my memory, and I got to share again. So let's go back to Criterion. There's a couple other films. Okay. And this won't be edited, so you get to see my typing. And well, you're not seeing anything. You're seeing me struggle typing before I share again because I had to go to BFI. So coming soon, Criterion. Then we have Thief. So let's take a look at Thief.
Yeah,
So this is the same cover.
I feel like they've already released this on 4K. But I think I made that up. It just feels like it. I feel like we knew this already.
I feel like we did too, but yeah, it
Did
does. There,
somebody tease this? I feel like we knew this.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we did too. This is what you get. Us searching our brains for a little bit of
Yeah, I
our
think I
memory
saw
banks.
this posted somewhere that it was coming because this I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, okay, we knew about that
Yeah, it's hard to believe the Blu-ray was
a long.
1985. So yeah,
Well, the Blu-ray was not 85.
yeah, it was the
The
Criterion,
Blu-ray? No, the Criterion, not the Blu-ray.
the Criterion Blu-ray. Yeah, the
No, no,
first.
no, no. the Criterion like Laserdisc, but it didn't come out on Blu-ray in 1985 because there wasn't Blu-ray in 1985.
Why did I say 1985? I meant 2015. See, this is again what you get. Yeah, Criterion, they existed, but not in their current form. So
Yeah,
okay,
I
there you
was
go.
like, oh my god, Aaron's glitching on video.
So for this 1985 edition,
Yeah, it came
has
out on fucking Betamax in
yeah, this is
1985.
the special Betamax. I saw A24's Y2K has a VHS only release, and I'm thinking
Mhm. Mm.
that's a great idea. And I know that VHS is kind of sort of they're trying to make it happen like
Mm.
vinyl has happened. I don't think it's really happening. I'm sorry, all you people, because I don't know where to buy a player. I mean, they're eliminating
Listen,
UHD players.
listen,
So
listen. Aaron. I'm going to take this opportunity to
okay,
just make a plea to everyone. I'm going to say something. If
okay,
you lived through the era of VHS, there were some good things because you could pop the VHS in, you could record something off
hmm
television. It was the best we had. But I'm telling all of you, it is not the ideal format for
nope,
watching a movie. It degrades like nobody's business.
yes,
There
terribly,
whatever yes, there is a nostalgia, especially when you're talking about kind of like campy, I get
yeah,
it. I understand the nostalgia, but there's the format is inferior in every single way. This isn't
yeah.
like a film situation. Film is great.
And it's not like vinyl,
VHS,
yeah, where
vinyl is
you can't
great.
get a better player, like, you
Vinyl is
can't get a
great.
modern player that makes vinyl sound better than the players back in the day,
I
you
mean,
can't get
vinyl
that doesn't
is
exist with VHS.
uncompressed. It
Yeah,
is an uncompressed.
mhm,
It is it's the purest you'll get a recording, right? Other than if you had like sitting there with the master tapes.
yeah,
Vinyl is fantastic. I understand that. But bringing back cassette tapes and
that is
bringing
the
back I don't,
yeah,
what are we doing, people? We
that's
are,
comparable quality, yeah.
our society has fallen. Don't don't we've Aaron and I have lived through this. Don't do it.
We have yeah, don't bother with VHS, so,
No.
okay, we have
Sorry.
so this is a 1980s Godzilla movie. So of course, many of us have the box set, and I don't know how you have figured out where to shelve it, but the box set is I have it upstairs, and I loved it. I love that box set of the Showa
Godzilla
era.
versus now, is this like a double L, like a Spanish Biollante, or is it like
Violante. I would think
Biollante, or is
no.
it
So it
Violante?
that sounds like it could be a Starbucks drink. I'd have like a
Bio
venti
or
Violante.
Biollante.
Yeah,
Biollante.
I'm thinking. So great question. Actually, a mutant plant genetically engineered from the cells of a rose. Now that sounds like a Godzilla
Mm,
premise if I've ever heard one. Renegade
that sounds
scientist,
pretty
dead
bad.
daughter, and Godzilla itself. That's the foe. A renegade scientist's dead daughter. Okay, I want to see how that's written.
Wait, we're saying Godzilla itself? So
Is a
Godzilla's an it?
foe? Yeah. So
So
genderless.
there's genderless Godzilla. I always assumed
What are
Godzilla was a woman or was female.
I think what are Godzilla's, pronouns? They,
I
them?
thought I thought
It?
Godzilla was like a pissed off lady.
Huh, yeah, I that's now maybe let's look at the so there is,
Mm,
oh, great, historian Sam Deegan,
okay, cool.
he's fantastic, so I really look forward to this. I like that they're doing a standalone rather than doing and I forget the name of the era, of the '80s, the 2nd Godzilla era, so I'm just not a Godzilla
Oh,
expert, but Sam's fantastic, so I really
oh,
look
I
forward
can't
to
think. It's not Shoya. That's
Show
that's
Showa is
Showa
the original, yeah.
original.
Um, Yeah,
Yeah,
if you want
we
to
are
Google,
gonna
you'll.
totally get our asses handed to us by all the Godzilla experts.
Well, I don't think people expect us to be Godzilla experts. We're the night moves experts. So that and
We're the fondue expert. We're
we
the
really are.
post-coital fondue experts.
And Night Moves also has that famous line about a Romare movie.
Mhm.
And Imogen has written an essay about Romare, but I don't think she cited that line. But
I
it's
wonder
a
if
famous line.
Imogen will do a fondue class.
Fondue and film. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll ask her. And
Yeah,
this one, I'm
we'll picture that idea.
I'm sure she's a fan of Night Moves. We'll have a chance to ask her that. So anyway,
Yeah.
Godzilla. The cover is cool. Let's see. The cover artist is Eric Powell. I
I'm
have
saying Biollante. It is
Via
Godzilla versus
Violante.
Biollante. I think that
Violante.
sounds, you
Hmm.
know.
That does not sound Japanese, but I don't know. I don't speak Japanese, so I'm not a So okay, let's go back to the next one. And so this is really interesting. A late era
Oh
Charles
yeah.
Chaplin, and
Yeah, this is
no, it's
great.
of course Charles Chaplin, not Charlie. So Woman of Paris. Um, yeah, I well actually I'm sorry. I thought this was a late era.
No, it's
Oh
23.
okay. I'm thinking of one of his later movies. Okay, so
Monsieur Verdot,
yeah,
probably.
or maybe Countess from Hong Kong. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
or New York. Yeah, who knows? But okay, so this is actually this is I'm sure I've seen this, but I don't remember it too well.
I don't
Clearly,
know if I have seen this one, but I'm
yeah,
excited because I've actually been because it's been a hot minute since they've released a Chaplin, and they were really kind of churning them out there for a little bit.
yeah.
So
It's been a while, but
I
City
wonder if
Lights,
this is like a because the
Modern
Chaplin
Times,
estate, they very,
The
very,
Kid.
very tightly control everything.
Yes, yes.
So this is oh, Jeff Vance is on this. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Yeah, I think the last one might have been Limelight or The Kid. I can't remember, but it's been you're
yeah,
right, a
it's
hot
been a
minute.
minute.
And I wondered if they would do one of those older ones, later films, which
Yeah.
I don't. They're not as good. They're different. I think Limelight, it was his last great film or last really good film, at least. Some people might.
Limelight's fantastic. Monsieur Verdot is kind of
Those,
weird. I don't
yeah,
know.
that
Is
was
it
that
Monsieur Verdot?
43.
Yeah.
Or
It's like
no,
a
it was
vignette.
39, wasn't it? Because he had the Hitler mustache. Well, I guess he always kind of did.
I thought it was later than that, but yeah, it's definitely no, I think Monsieur Verdot is 50s. I'm
Yeah.
almost positive on
There's a lot.
that. But yeah,
I think this is 53,
that's
uh,
53.
52, actually.
And
And
then
for Doe, I'm looking on another tab, so you can't see.
it might even be 60.
No, 47. We were both wrong.
Oh, I was yeah, I don't know what the
I
hell
knew
I'm
it
talking
was
about.
earlier, but yeah, I have trouble with these. But anyway, A Woman of Paris. Let's look at the features again. Let's see. So you mentioned Jeff Vance. So video essay. That's awesome. That's going to be great. Chaplain
Oh,
scholar
Pamela
David Robinson, not to
yeah,
be confused with the former basketball
no,
player.
no.
I
And we've
mean,
got a Pamela
he,
Hutchinson
oh, great. Yeah.
essay.
Uh, this is interesting. Liv Ullman and Michael Powell.
Oh,
Speaking of which,
nice.
comes full
Nice.
circle. So yeah, yeah, and it's nice to see Pamela Hutchinson. She was on the Criterion essayist list. She's on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Great follow. So and great essays. Again, I champion writing for Criterion. It's so good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to anything about this. This looks like a pretty big release, actually. The one thing about Chaplin is when they do put them out, they're
Yeah.
special. Criterion, especially lately, they've been criticized for skimping on supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah, not with
Well,
these.
and I think too, like I said earlier, is the Chaplin estate is so
Yeah.
they are I'm not going to say who or what, but let me just put it this way. They requested that gifts of Chaplin be removed
Hmm.
from a platform. That is how tightly they control Chaplin's image. So I'm sure that they are, you know, quite involved in these releases and making sure that, everything is there that they want there.
Yeah, certainly. So the final one is actually modern times, not modern times, Night Moves. So this is Alan Rudolph's Choose Me coming out the same day
Very
as
cool.
yeah, as Night Moves, the 25th. Now, this is one I don't think I've seen, or if I did see it, I was young, and my guess is I probably shouldn't have seen it. So, but Alan Rudolph is well known. Trouble in Mind is a big one.
Yeah.
I saw Ms. Parker and the Vicious Circle. That was a mid '90s one. Good
Mhm.
film, but he's had a lot of great films. This is probably his first one in the collection, I
I
would think.
don't think I've seen this, but I'm looking at this cast and it's
Right.
saying there's like a Teddy Pendergrass in the
Yeah.
soundtrack. I'm there, man.
Yeah, yeah. Genevieve Bujold, Keith Carradine, Leslie Ann Warren. So
Yes.
good star characters. Genevieve Bujold, she was pretty big for a hot minute in the '80s, and I don't know what if she carried on with acting, but we'll find out. So yeah, the supplements. We have a new conversation with Rudolph and actor Keith Carradine. So
Cool.
that's great. A new program with Rudolph and some people involved with the production.
Very
Excerpts from an
nice.
interview at a festival. Oh, nice! Another great essayist, Beatrice Loaiza, who actually used to work at Criterion,
Very
um,
cool.
and I think she has bylines in. I don't know exactly which publication. I think Roger Ebert and maybe a couple, maybe
Okay.
Film Comment. Don't quote me on that, but she's really a tremendous writer. So really
That's
looking
awesome.
forward to her essay about the film and Alan Rudolph. Let's look at the stills.
Oh,
So
hell.
yeah,
Let me tell you, Keith Carradine could get it then and could 100% get it now. I saw him at the restoration screening of Nashville years ago
cool.
when the cast showed up, and I was like, "Damn, son, you can still get it."
Oh, is that what's her name from Mona Lisa?
Oh, it might be.
Uh, yeah. Anyway, might not be, but the screens really look like Alan Rudolph film too.
Oh,
Yes,
go back. There's a poster in the background for "Don't Bother to Knock."
yeah,
That's a nice little
that's cool.
touch.
Yeah, yeah, nice Easter egg. So yeah, that is the March Criterion slate.
Yeah.
So
Look at
I'm
that.
excited about it. Yeah. So
Yeah, and
but
see,
I
we
think
were
the
here to
highlight
break the news to
is
all of
Night
you.
Moves.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
actually, I just saw a notification. Somebody texted me Night Moves in 4K. So people are very happy. That's a treat.
Not to be confused with the Bob Seger song,
Right,
"Night
right.
Moves."
We can't even sing.
Night
Well, I
moves,
personally can't sing, period. But if we did sing that, we would probably get we'd hear
night
from.
moves,
All right. Well, that is Criterion.
working on
Kind
some
of
night
Criterion new. This might
moves.
be one of our shortest episodes in in
Uh,
ever.
Gonna get on some front page news, working on the night moves.
Does anybody want me to
It's
keep
summertime.